I ask for the truth on behalf of Krystal Mac, Krystal MC, whatever that is. Sorry about that. Concerning career issues. I ask for the truth on behalf of Krystal Mac concerning career issues. I ask for the truth on behalf of Krystal Mac concerning career issues. I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence concerning career issues for Krystal Mac. Blessed be to the truth always. And we just cut the deck for you there, Krystal, and then we'll just deal out 3 cards. The first card we deal in the 3 card spread, of course, is in the position of the recent past. This is a period of time between now and the last new moon, because it's a new moon now, isn't it? It's near as damn it as to swearing. Well, it will be tomorrow anyway. That's just hours to go, isn't it? And of course, now the next card vibrates with the present, so that vibrates. I suppose it's the most important one of all, isn't it? Because it's what's happening now, and it gives insight and guidance into what's happening now. And then, of course, the immediate future between now and this time next month, the next new moon, or whatever you want to call it, the next moon phase, as you would say, is just placed there. Let's establish the situation. Let's try and find out what's been going on over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so here from a career point of view. All words were true. We asked on your behalf, so the energies that vibrate will have been manipulated in place. Spirit manipulates, we just shuffle, of course. And we just reveal the first card there. As you can see, wands. It's of course the 8 of wands. 8, of course, is it's challenge, isn't it? Any number between 4 and 9, those are the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, they are to do with the element of water. With wands being the element of fire, I suppose you could say the watery part of fire. In that respect, it's neat. Yes, the 7 of wands is valour, the 8 of wands, of course, is a challenge to that, isn't it? Crowley refers to the 8 of wands as the Lord of Swiftness. Things from a career point of view, just recently, have been going a bit quicker than normal. My cup's empty, so I'll have to make another cup of coffee, but I'll do that later on. That can wait. This is a bit more important, isn't it? I'm looking at the energies here. Yes, the wands and the books. Books are really, I suppose, knowledge is more to do with air, isn't it? Because it's communication, transmissive powers, etc. But nevertheless, I suppose, as I'm sort of trying to justify maybe the bad design of the card or whatever, knowledge is air, and it takes air to fuel a fire. You need oxygen to fuel a fire, don't you? Fire, well, fire, of course, the energy, so you need knowledge to fuel energy. For anything to be energised, it needs knowledge. You need to know how to do something to do it. And although I suppose your pancreas doesn't know how to grow or how to digest, or you know, whatever, your hair doesn't know how to grow, it just does it. Nevertheless, there is knowledge, sort of a sort of knowledge there that it's all in the DNA or whatever you want to call it. And in this particular case, from a career point of view, yes, there has been gathering of knowledge which has energised things, but energy is, I suppose, to exceed or surpass. In some decks like the Crow's Magic Tarot, you focus on the crocodile, which of course is more to do with, of course, the ancient ones, the lizards, whatever, the lizard people. They're the ancient ones, they're the wisdom, they're the knowledge, aren't they, I suppose. But in this particular case, I suppose the crocodile could symbolise the trusting in oneself, believing in oneself as well. Notice, of course, the 8. The 8 is the challenge, or whatever, the challenge to that. I suppose the challenge in this particular case is that things have been going just a bit quickly, and maybe exceeded and surpassed your own expectations, either in a positive way or even a negative way. Maybe things have just moved a bit too quickly for your own good, and you missed the boat, or whatever. But either way, maybe even you've exceeded your own expectations and passed that exam you didn't know you'd be able to pass. Well, I never thought I'd do that, and you've gone and done it. Good for you. If not, but it's this sort of thing where things are just moving a bit quickly, and you've got to catch up with yourself, or you've been trying to do. Let's though see what's going on now, which is, I suppose, the most important part of everything, because you can define yourself by what you're doing now, can't you? You can learn from the past, maybe to try and slow down or something like that, I don't know. But what is the energy here that vibrates right now, as you would say? The energy of the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is, well, the watery part of air, isn't she? She's the watery part of air. I suppose intuition with communication or something like that, if you view it that way. Also, although notice here we've got the ravens there communicating now with the moon. Notice the moon, of course, can represent the subconscious, can't it? And the raven represents the raven as the soul carrier, and carries you from the darkness into the light, and the Queen there, she is carrying you from the subconscious mind, from what's sort of possible to the light. Although the moon shines in the darkness, nevertheless there is light in the darkness. As if to say that there is light in the darkness when you use your intuition, when you use, yes, the emotional side with feeling and communicate with feeling. You communicate, I suppose, from the subconscious. But there's a lot of subconscious going on here right now. Maybe the fact that things have been moving so quickly just recently, and you've even exceeded your own expectations. It's the temptation to go within for a while and ask oneself, is there a capability within me that is, or is there a spirit that is helping me? Maybe there is. I sort of sense that maybe a spirit there is there helping you subconsciously to sort of materialise or manifest is the right word, isn't it? And to communicate your ideas as well. because that helps, doesn't it? Whatever knowledge you've acquired over the recent past, which has energised and made things move just a bit too quickly, maybe for the better, I don't know. But if you were in a mad rush, then it's certainly... but things have been moving quickly. And you're now having to use the introspection of the subconscious mind and communicate that in the physical world. Because deep down you do know the answer to whatever question you really have here about your career. You know the answer deep down in your subconscious. If this is the right one for you, if this is the right move, if now is the right time to move, because things have been moving quickly, doesn't necessarily mean you've got to do it now. Let's get on with it and let's be ahead of schedule. Maybe this can say slow down, because things have moved quickly and you're ahead of schedule. You can slow down and regroup and search within, and search within the subconscious mind to just check if this is what you really want. You can afford to do that. Not, of course, to indulge in revelry or anything like that, but to use your spare time to explore, not to wander. Notice here a major arcana card. Here, the card of judgment. This is a major arcana card, as we know. The major arcana, the first 22 major arcana card there, of course, indicates something major, something important. So the most important part of this reading is the major arcana energy that vibrates in your immediate future between now and the next new moon. Between now and the last new moon, things moved swiftly, things moved quickly, exceeded, surpassed your own expectations, and now there's time for introspection. Now there's time to listen to the subconscious mind and let Raven speak to you. And whatever message Raven brings, of course, then comes the judgment. Then you become more aware. Then you become, I suppose, in a way, it's time to metamorphose or change in some way. Notice there's the judgment being made there with the tarot laid out, and deciding and making the judgment of, well, okay, the three of swords there, the pendulum on the three of swords, or whatever it is there, indicating some sort of just beware of sorrow that could lie ahead, lie in wait, I suppose, to some degree. But nevertheless, is that just a potential, not necessarily in this particular spread that I think that this character here sees. That would be the crowning card, wouldn't it, if it was a Celtic spread, but it isn't. But looking at that, it's sort of making that decision, maybe looking at the oracle again later on between now and the next new moon, consulting the oracle, consulting spirit, given the fact that you've consulted your own subconscious mind, and through the darkness of space and time you've been able to move forward. And when you move forward, then you consult an earthly oracle, or continue with consulting the spiritual oracle, just to keep you on the right track, to remain in communication with the subconscious, the spiritual side, by buffing up, I suppose you could say, buffing up, isn't it? In the sense of just consulting the oracle every now and again, whichever oracle that be it the tarot, the runes, or be it just books of knowledge, in the sense of just helping you decide what to do next. Of course, judgment, in the main sort of sense is literally that, isn't it? Just, but in a traditional tarot deck, of course, judgment is the day of judgment, where Gabriel blows the trumpet on the last day, and those who are naked before the Lord, of course, have nothing to hide. But those who wear the loincloths, they hide the truth. They are the ones who really are the ones who are judged. If you've got nothing to hide, you just flaunt it, don't you? But laughing and joking apart, there, what have you got to hide? Is there something that all are naked before the Lord on the latter day, as they'd say? But in this particular case, the judgment is coming between now and this time next month, between now and the next new moon, between the initiation of the magic that is happening now to the next initiation period. You of course go through the healing, then the banishing, and then the initiation, or the peak of magic, and then the initiation, the healing, the peak of magic, and then the banishing. And then after that, what happens after that? It's up to you to decide. The judgment is there for you to make, really. You are the judge. You are the one who has to decide. You are the one who has to interpret what this layout, this card, this spread out, this tarot spread, as you would say, is there. You have to decipher what the situation is yourself. Remember, Raven will have given you that ability. Right now, Raven is giving you that ability, correction, present tense. Raven is giving you that ability now through Crow Brother, Crow is King, I'm sure, and his spirit is communicating, helping you from the darkness into the light. Remember, of course, moonlight isn't moonlight, it's reflected sunlight, so it's the light of day in the middle of the night, and even, I suppose that's the light in the darkness, isn't it? The fact that you can see a daytime when it isn't, and you can see beyond immediate appearances, and you can, and that's what gives you the ability of foresight. But you're going to have to, there will be signs given you, in the sense of here, the judgment, maybe the signs will be given to you, the omens will be given to you. It's up to you to read them. Do I read them correctly, though? This is the question you'll be asking yourself. Well, of course, when it happens, you will know. You will know instinctively, because Raven will give you that energy as he's giving it you now to search within your subconscious mind. And if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, flaps its wings like a duck, it's probably a duck. And really, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. From a career point of view, of course, it's Judgment Day, in the sense it's time for you to decide whether you take that, either take that job, or you take that path, you take that direction of travel. But you've got between now and the next new moon to do that, so you can initiate that magic, and initiate it with foresight, and initiate it with the power of these cards that have now spoken.